How to decrease sales by increasing pressure. Oh wait, is that not what you want? Is that not why you're watching this video? Okay, let's not do that. That sucks. What you don't want to do is not have goals, have a weak-ass pipeline, not taking time to actually plan to prospect and pick up the phone or go shake somebody's hand or send an email or wave, and using salesy language. That's all the things that we don't want to do. So if you want to see how you actually increase your sales by decreasing pressure, stick around to the end of this video. The 4 things to increase sales while decreasing pressure is, the first is to have a buying atmosphere, and we're going to have a chance to get into that. The second is building out prospecting time, putting into your calendar. The third is actually having an abundance mentality. And the fourth is to have goals. Mind-blowing, I know. So number 1, building a buying atmosphere. Well, first off, what is a buying atmosphere? So what we don't want is a sales atmosphere. A sales atmosphere, and you guys have probably experienced this before, where you walk up to a salesperson, I don't care where it is, insurance, if it's on a car lot, and all of a sudden you just feel that pressure and you feel that sales push and it's like, ugh, you don't want that. And on the flip side is, as you're the salesperson, you don't want to deal with people that feel that pressure, because when you're asking them questions, they're not actually going to dig in, they're not going to answer, they're going to give you 1 or 2 word answers. That's because they feel that pressure. So the idea of actually having a buying atmosphere, there's a very simple line that we always use. Hey, if you like this, great. If not, totally okay too. The idea of actually telling someone it's okay if you don't buy this. Mind-blowing, I know. If you tell somebody, hey, it's okay if you don't buy this, it actually increases their ability, not necessarily to buy it, but it increases their ability to be open-minded as far as what you're presenting. So I used to do this crazy summer internship where I used to go knock on doors 80 hours a week, and I'd sell books. We were selling educational products door to door. And my buying atmosphere was very simple. And I'd walk through after I had a chance to introduce myself, get to know the people when I was sitting down with them, and it's like, hey, and I'll show you how these work. And honestly, if you like them and if you think there's value and you think you guys would actually use them, great. I'll show you how to pick them up. And if not, if you don't like them, don't think you'd use them, don't like my Crocs, totally okay too. It's okay if you don't buy them. Absolutely okay. Most important thing is if you think your family would use them. And so if you caught that, yes, I wore Crocs when I was knocking on doors. It was super comfy and it got the job done, and it was easy self-deprecating humor. So point number 1, create a buying atmosphere. If you like these, great. If not, totally okay too. Point number 2, plan out your day, plan out your schedule, plan out when you're actually going to prospect, whether it's picking up the phone, whatever that is. Man, that gets me to think about, I had a client that was in real estate, and they were like, Will, it's hard for me to plan out my day and plan out when I'm going to prospect, because I don't know when I'm going to get a call from a potential client, or I don't know when I'm going to need to go show a house or potentially go look at a listing. I just don't know when that's going to happen. And yeah, that's true. You don't know when you're going to get interrupted in the day. But there's 2 things that are always going to be consistent. The first is, if you don't know what a perfect week looks like, you're never going to have one. And the second is, if you're not actively building in income producing activities into your calendar, you're not actively growing your business. And so our intention, especially in coaching, is taking the time to actually build out when you're prospecting. When is the best time for you to be able to reach the clients that you're reaching out and having a conversation with? Is it from 9 to 11? Is it from 3 to 5? Plan that out and actually put it in the calendar. And my ninja step is actually put down in your calendar, how many people are you going to talk to, how many appointments or how many sit downs are you going to have, and how many sales or how many appointments are you going to book during that prospecting time. How many people are you going to talk to, and how many appointments are you going to set during that time. Point number 3 is to have an abundance mentality. And this is more of just a mental mindset thing, but the idea of having an abundance mentality is to counteract that weak-ass pipeline. And if you have a weak pipeline, all that means is, hey, if this person doesn't end up purchasing, or if I don't end up getting this as a client, man, I might have 1 or 2 other meetings this week where I might be able to help impact that person's life or be able to help them out. And that doesn't feel good. The idea of having a strong pipeline very simply means that, hey, and that means actually having a buying atmosphere for yourself and actually truly believing that. Because if you know, like, hey, if this person isn't into it, that's totally okay. Absolutely fine for them. That creates having more of an abundance mentality. And if you're looking at your pipeline right now and you're like, that is pretty weak ass, how do we shift that even just with the mentality itself? Think about how many potential prospects in the US or in the world there are out there. So for example, one of our clients, of course, is salespeople and sales managers. I just did a quick little Google search right before I shot this video. There's 1.57 million salespeople just in manufacturing and wholesale alone here in the US. We don't even have any clients that I know of in manufacturing and wholesale. And so the opportunity of knowing that there's that many people out there automatically helps shift our mindset and being open to reaching out to anyone. Point number 4, it sounds stupid, but have goals. And if you have goals, great. Review those goals. Look at them often. Keep them in front of you. Make sure that they're smart goals. Make sure they're specific. But if you don't, one of the reasons that your pipeline might be empty, one of the reasons that you might not be selling and serving as many people as you probably should is because you don't have goals. So many times I hear, oh, my salespeople are lazy or my kids are lazy. Guys, people aren't lazy. They're just unfocused. And if they're unfocused, there's not going to have true drive as far as what they're doing throughout the day. And so if you don't have clarity as far as what you're striving for, it's easy to cash in on the day and be like, man, it's 3 o'clock. I'm done with the day. I did my work. I put in my time. Or if you have goals, if you have a drive, if you have a reason for what you're working towards, you know specifically where you stand. And to potentially take the pressure off of yourself, if you don't like the idea of thinking about how many sales you're going to make or how many clients you're going to get, think very specifically about something that you can actually control. How many appointments do I need in a given day in order for me to hit my goals? And if I have those appointments, great. Because then it takes the pressure off the idea of feeling like you have to sell someone. That doesn't serve anyone. And so the idea of having specific and clear goals around an actionable thing that for a lot of the times you can actually control, it helps you create that idea that you can, of course, achieve your goals because it's something that you have control over. So to recap, in order to increase sales while decreasing the pressure on the people you're talking to, number 1, have a buying atmosphere. Number 2, make sure that you're actually planning out your day and making sure it's specific around your goals. Number 3 is have an abundance mentality. And number 4, have goals. And we'll throw a 5 in there is make sure you subscribe. And if you're a person that wants to increase their income by 46% over the course of a year, hit me up. Send me a text, send me an email, let's connect. Here's the 4 things that we're going to dig into and cover today. The first one, have an effective buying atmosphere. The second, build out prospecting time into your calendar. The third, have an abundance mentality. I keep looking at the picture of myself.
Oh, shit.
Cock sandwich. All right, we're going to get this time.